Hey everyone, welcome back to yet another live stream recording. This is a recent one that I was really excited about. We took something that I learned at DroidCon London, which was about dealing with animations and drawing on the canvas with Jetpack Compose, and I wanted to use that to make this fun little stat tracker animation for the Rocket League app that I've been working on, and that's what we do today, and I hope you like it. Let me know what you think in the comments. We could do some coding tonight. There's a couple things that I was interested in from DroidCon London that I would be happy to do. Why don't I make a little poll real quick while we're here of one of these two things, which are, oh my god, I'll put a little poll in here. Uh, we'll just do we'll do a 2 minute poll. So if you're here, get voting. Uh, Basically decide one of two things I would want to work on is either looking at Jetpack lands and building like a widget for our application, or dealing with the composed canvas and specifically doing so to build some stat visualization. So many of you have seen the Pocket League app, which is basically a Rocket League esports result tracking app. And the API I use actually gives a lot of really cool information about stats, like goals between each team, also like boost management, like who was like fastest and things like that. And so I thought we could take some of that and maybe play around with the composed canvas, maybe do some animations. I have done some since, and I could just share the code. But honestly, if that's what wins, what I'll do is I will just redo all that stuff kind of live, talk about like what I did to make it happen, um, and animate everything. And that was kind of cool. So, yeah, that's Oh, I'm also using the new Android Studio Flamingo, by the way, which I haven't really looked into what's different about it, but gotta hydrate. Welcome, Midnight Guardian. Also known as Steve. Um, let's see. Can I? Ooh, the poll is 50-50 right now. So we'll keep an eye on it. If we go with the canvas route, what we'll do is the stat visualization. If we try making um, after hearing the use case for canvas, I'd like to recast my vote. Okay, so, but if we did do a widget, what we would do is probably like this. We would probably build a widget that shows like recent matches or like a recent match or something. Um, Poll ended, canvas won. All right, we're gonna do stat visualization. Um, cool. So it is Wednesday, my dude. Um, all right, so um, how do we? Okay, so let's just dive in. So here's how we're gonna dive in. I'm gonna go over to our design system module. Let's do in components. Let's make a new directory here. What am I looking for? Package, I guess. And let's call it stats. Okay. And oh, I guess do I want that in components? Let's move that up. And let's call it a stat comparison. RL turning 3v3 at 12. Maybe. Let me get back to you. But maybe I can do that tonight. Um, I've got some plans already right after this, but I don't know how late they're gonna go. Um, okay, stat comparison. Um, let's make this a composable function. Let's make sure we give this a modifier. I thought my live template had this as a default, but I must have forgotten it. Um, why is the Vax video quality 360? It's just to you. I don't know. I haven't had anyone ask about it. I'm kind of just using defaults for everything. Is anyone else having video quality issues? Could it be like an internet connection thing by any chance? I haven't had anyone else. Okay. Okay. It's not anything I'm controlling, so. And let's throw a preview in here real quick. Okay, all right. Other people are having issues. Sorry, Sam. This is being recorded though, so if it gets too awful, I'll try to get the recording up soon, which should, and hopefully the recording. I haven't checked my recording settings. I can't change them now, but um, the recording is hopefully at like a good aspect ratio and everything. Okay, so let's talk about the stat comparison. So, um, let me see if I can find images of this from like an RLCS broadcast. Um, Can't find an example from the RLCS broadcast right away, but something that shows up every once in a while when not every once in a while, at the end of every game in RLCS is there's this cool overlay that shows like each of the teams and like their players, and then these little bars that go across for like a comparison of stats. So like they will have goals, and there will be like a sort of sliding bar that shows like almost the percentage of goals scored by team A versus team B. So if like one team scored 2 goals and the other one scored one, the blue bar would be like 2/3 of the way, and the other one would be 1/3 of the way. Kind of hard to picture it, but why don't we go ahead and build that to be used later in our app? Gotta hydrate again. Cheers. So that's what we're gonna do. So let's talk about how we can do that. Well, um, let's have this take in a couple parameters. Let's say blue team value, and I think we can make this an int. Um, but do I want to make it a float just because? No, we'll make it an int because I know that we'll deal with that later. Um, okay, so we've got our blue team value, our orange team value, and our modifier. So let's build this incrementally. Let's start by just well, let's talk about what we're going to do. First thing we're going to do is create our canvas. Modifier will just be the same modifier, but let's say for this one, we're always going to fill max width. And we should give this like, let's do a height. Let's do 48 dips on this. That's something we use elsewhere in the app. Do I have a constant for this anywhere? Um, no, we'll leave that for now. It's kind of a magic number, but we can come back to it. Um, okay, so let's talk about this. So when we create a canvas composable, we can give it some modifier. So here I'm going to say like I want this to fill the whole screen. That's where I want my bars to go from end to end. I do have in my preview function, I have this padding modifier to just make it so in my preview it doesn't like touch the edge of the screen. I also need to give this value. So why don't we put up the Brazil here? Blue team value is 7, orange team value is 1. Um, okay, so we create our canvas, and then we get this lambda that has a draw scope. Now, the draw scope basically allows us to do whatever we want. We can get as nitty gritty as drawing our own path, but there's actually helpers for common things that you would want to draw on a canvas. In our case right now, I just want to draw 2 lines. I want to draw a line that goes from start to wherever the blue team should end, and then from wherever that end is to where the other end of the screen is. So let's comment that out real quick. So draw a blue line from start to dividing point, and then draw orange line from start to ending point. Um, so let's do some of the basic math we need at the start here. So what are some of the things we need to, so I should also specify actually here, when we do like draw a line, we can give it a color. So like this would be RLCS blue. But then we have a start and an end, which are both offsets. And an offset takes an x and y coordinate, which is why these are yelling at me. So let's think about this. So the y coordinate for this, I gave this a fixed height of 48 dips, right? And that's just to make sure there's like good padding above and below my line. But let's have our line draw right in the middle. So we could do like, we could say the mid height is going to be, and actually I need to do this inside the canvas because it's going to be related to the canvas size. So we're going to say our mid height is going to be this dot height size dot height divided by 2. And actually, I've started to learn that I love just using the function calls directly when I'm doing math operations. Sometimes it's fine if you're doing one thing to just do like the slash symbol because we all read that as dividing. But I feel like when I'm doing sort of math operations in the canvas after seeing it in the presentations in London, I like this a lot better. Personal preference, but I feel like that just kind of reads a little nicer. We can get rid of this though. We can get rid of this. Yeah, okay. Um, so what else do we need? Well, we need like um, we need to figure out what our dividing point is. And so how do we do that? Well, um, there's a couple things we could do. First, we need like the total value of everything, which is blue team plus orange team value. And then what we could do is like we could get like blue team percentage, which would be like blue team value dot to float divided by total value. Um, this would give me right blue team divided by total. Yes. So that would give me the percentage of the width that should be taken up by the blue team. So then our dividing point is just, or rather, dividing point percentage. Wait, no, hold on. Yeah, okay. So our dividing point then is going to be size dot width. Oh my god, I said I would use these, and I'm going to do that because I think it's going to be a little more clear. So our dividing point is size dot width times blue team percentage. I think that's the way to do it. Right, right, okay. So these are all the values we need to make this work. So let's draw our line now that we have these values. So for the blue line, we're going to start with x being 0 and y being mid-height. And then our blue line is going to end with x being dividing point and y still being mid-height. So that's our blue line. Does that make sense? I know it sounds complicated, but now that we've done the math, basically the line starts at 0 mid-height and ends at our dividing point, but still being at that mid-height. So it'll basically be a straight line from 0 to whatever our dividing point is. So then we can draw the orange line very similarly. We'll just change the color here. Now this one is going to start at dividing point and mid-height and end at our width, whatever our size that width is. So I should clarify in case you've never done composed like or canvas coordinates. The coordinate 0, 0 is at the top left. So as you go down the screen, your y value goes up. As you go left to right across the screen, your x value goes up. So that's why if I were to not care about like height, I would start at 0, 0 and I would end at size.width comma 0 or something like that. So how are we going to test this out? Well, actually, the easiest way, let's just build and refresh a compose preview, and let's see what we get. And something I might actually consider is like, we could also pull these functions out, which would be cool, and make like a draw blue line, draw orange line. And there we go. Let's do this instead. Let's run it on an emulator. Because that preview is kind of hard to see. That's not great either. Okay, it's very thin, um, but we can see it. Let's make it not so thin. Let's close this. Let's go back to this. Okay, so let's specify some things here. Let's say um, line width. Let's make it 4 dips. That sounds aggressive. Let's make it 2. And then when we call draw line, there's stroke width. So we can do 2 dips. 1 second. And I unplugged my headphones, of course. There we go. So we can set stroke width to being line width. Do the same thing here. Oh, nice. And we're getting that nice little live edit going on. So now it's becoming a lot more clear, right? I can't fit like the whole preview in here easily, but there we go. Some of that code's being cut off, but that's what our stat comparison looks like. I love it. So, I can also now that we can see it a little better, I can zoom out a little bit, do something like this. Nice. Okay, so see, not too bad with the canvas. So let's pull this out. Let's say draw a blue line. Why are you yelling at me? Composable functions can only happen. I don't think this needs to be marked as composable. No, it doesn't. Okay, and then we'll take this one out and we'll say draw orange line. Okay, so that's going to work out. So let's do something else. Where these meet, let's put a little divider. Okay, so how I might do something like that is get like, let's make the divider twice as big as our line width. Or, oh, well, okay, there's a couple things to consider. There's like the width of this divider and also how high it should be. Um, and how did I do this last time? I think this is what I did. Let's run with it. So we can always experiment. So I'm gonna hide the preview for a second while I try to describe this. So we're gonna make a divider that is basically going to be this white bar that goes vertical over that dividing point. So instead of this super like jarring difference between the two, we'll have like a little vertical bar in between these. So we can do we can basically do draw line, color, we could do color.white. Um, so and let's say we'll start, the offset will be, so x will be dividing point, but y will be mid height minus divider height. Or rather, so it's not so much divider height, but like the offset from um yeah, it's almost like divider offset. Like how far the offset should go from the line. So I wanted to go basically I wanted to go um does this math make sense? I think this is gonna look wrong, but let's run with it for now. And we can rename this when we're done. But basically, the key thing to note here is one will be mid height minus the offset, and one will be plus the offset. And our stroke width, actually, here I would do line width. I want my divider to be a little wider than the rest of the lines. So that's what I'm going for. Um, I'm going to pull this out into a draw divider. Whoops. Uh, I don't know why my IDE wouldn't let me just call it that. And we can get rid of this from here and put that there. Okay, so we cleaned up the code. Let's see what this looks like real quick. Uh, let's refresh. Okay, okay. I was onto something here. Ooh, okay, well, the light mode divider is wrong. Um, so we're gonna have to play around with that. Uh, that's fine. That's not a big deal. Um, but this is small. So, so, um, hydrate for Ryan. Cheers. I like the stroke width here. Um, so, um, I'm just wondering if like, did I just do times four? No, that's too much. What did I do in my other project? I don't remember. Did I just specify what I thought would look good? Hmm. I think I did. No, I think I know what I did. I did line width times two, but I think this looks better if we make our line width four. There we go. Then it's a little bigger, but I like this. And then let's make our divider width the same. There we go. I kind of like the way that looks. Had to play around with the variables a little bit, but I think that looks good. What do you think, chat? Um, so I'll push this up and I'll make sure. Oh, I should actually be on a new branch real quick. Um, but we can look at the code real quick. So let's recap what we did, just because there was a little bit of confusing stuff here. So we did some math to define like relevant values. What's our mid height? So we draw in the middle of this canvas. What's the total value of the two stats? What percentage of that is the blue team? Because blue team appears on the left. So, and because we draw from left to right, I want to know the percentage that's the blue team. I use that to get my dividing point, and I also specify like the line width of the lines we want to draw. So then we draw a blue line, draw orange line, draw a divider. These take in the necessary properties to make their dividing points. So for the divider, our offset is going to be the dividing point. And basically, we go from our mid height minus the divider offset to plus the divider offset. So that's how we get that vertical line that crosses above and below. And then our orange and blue lines are just using the relevant offsets to animate there. So, um, all that said, let's do one other thing really quick. Here inside this composable function here, let's get a divider color. Will be if is system in dark theme color dot white else color dot black. Um, and let's pass that into our divider. Okay, and refresh this one more time. And ugh, that doesn't look great, does it? It kind of looks a little off. The black is kind of jarring. Um, dare I? Let's try a themed color real quick. Welcome back, Matt. Just in time to see us complete this stat comparison, but now we're just playing around with the colors real quick because this white and black seem kind of jarring. Ooh, this does need to be. Okay, hold on. Let's go back up here. Comment this out in case I change my mind. No, I can always control. No, comment it out in case I change my mind. Um, divider color will be material theme dot color scheme dot on surface. Cat jam in here. Hell yeah. Um, and I've got it so that this will be not included in clips or my local recording. So that's hype. Okay, so if we use on surface, we should get similar colors, but they won't be as jarring as pure white and pure black. Or will they? Did this rebuild? Huh. Are my on surface things really? I guess it's close to black. Huh. So maybe it just looks jarring in the previews, but I don't think it's that bad. Now, maybe it's just slightly different. Um, Switch over to light theme really quick. Yeah, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. It looks more jarring in the preview, but when I see it on the device, it's not too bad. So let's call that a win, and let's go ahead and commit these changes real quick. So adding stack comparison. Now, after this, we can do some fun stuff of animating this. Savalian, hi! Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? So the next thing we could do is animate this. And I'm gonna pull up my notes on another stream here, or on my other screen, because I want to be able to reference some stuff here. Oh no, it didn't get pushed. Why didn't it get pushed? My other repo is still on undocumented public function, of course. Um, value and orange team value. Curse my static analysis checks to not add me to. I recommend adding. I'm doing good, Sav. Thank you for asking. Teddy says I recommend adding theme switch to quick settings in the emulator so you can switch fast. I didn't know you could do that. You learn something new every day. What do you mean? So is it this that I edit for these? Dark theme. Oh, look at that. I'm gonna put it right up at the front because it's my emulator. So wow, huh? You learn something new every day. That's super cool. You should be up here. What am I doing? Why are people learning from me? I don't have anything cool to teach people. That's fantastic. Thank you for sharing. I'm gonna do this on my real device too. Shit. um, okay, so all of that said, I want to animate this, um, and I don't remember how we did this. Um, so we're gonna learn it together. We're gonna look up animations in Jetpack Compose really quick because the cool thing about this animation. So let's talk about it real quick. This, what I want to animate, what I've done before is basically we will start at our dividing point and we will animate outwards. So over the course of some duration, we will animate from the divider to the left and right and also have the divider itself grow. And so we'll do that. Um, and basically, the way we're going to do that is we'll set up some animation. We'll basically want to animate from like 0% to 100% of the animation, right? And then based on our current animation state, we're going to redo all of these calculations. So we won't have to change a whole lot to make this work. Um, let's actually we can prepare ourselves for some of the animation stuff right now. Um, so like how would I do this? So I would say um, what would I say? Um, hmm. Trying to think about how I would describe this before writing the animation code. Um, so like we could put something like animation percentage would be a float, but right now we're going to say it's equal to 1. Like this is what we're going to be. So what have we got? Well, our mid height's always going to be the same. Our total value is going to be the same. Um, uh, hmm, just thinking out loud. Um, sorry, I'm not thinking out loud. I'm thinking quietly. That's the problem. Uh, so let's talk about it one line at a time. I think is the way to do it. So let's pass into our blue line. Let's pass in our animation percentage. Okay, have this take in some animation percentage, which will be a float, and we want to draw the line. So we have our dividing point and we have our animation percentage, right? So because we're animating outward from the divider on the blue line, we need to figure out what our starting x is. So Just to clarify with an extra property for 1 second. So our total x is basically going to be dividing point, right? Because we start at 0 and we go to whatever our dividing point is. But our start x, or rather, so our line width is the wrong thing here. Our line length is going to be um, the animation percentage times our total. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Total length is whatever is from 0 to our dividing point. Our line length to render is going to be the animation percentage times that total length. And so then our starting x is basically going to be dividing point minus line length to render. And so instead of starting at 0, we're going to replace this with our starting x. And we can inline this now that we kind of talked about it, um, but our end offset is the same. It's our start offset that's going to change based on the animation percentage. So let's do a similar thing for the orange line. Let's say animation percentage will be a float, and we'll do a similar thing. So here we go. So our total length is basically going to be size dot width minus dividing point, and then we're going to have length to render will be total length times whatever our animation percentage is. And then so our ending x value is going to be dividing point plus length to render. So it's similar logic, but it's opposite, right? Because in one, we're trying to get our offset to the left, so we're subtracting this length to render. But here, because we're moving to the right and the x coordinate's going towards the positive direction, we need to add our length to render. This would be a good thing to comment on, but you know what? Y'all are here, y'all get the real thing. So instead of our end being size.width here, we're going to do ending x. And pass in that animation percentage. And let's do a similar thing for our divider. So our divider offset, px, is basically line width times 2. So let's do total divider. Let's call this total divider length. So then we'll just do divider length will be total divider length times animation percentage. And then we use this in our offset calculations. So here's a quick way we can test that I'm not talking out of my ass here. Let's go back to our split. Let's rebuild, and this should look normal, which it appears to have done. So another quick way we can test is let's change this to 0.5, and now we can see it shrunk, right? This is what it would look like halfway through the animation. So I can just test by manually tweaking it. Nitpick, it's half of total divider length. Um, I don't know what you mean. You're right, it is half of the total divider length. So this would be like, so it would be like offset, I would call it. Um, I want the offset of each thing to be like the line width times 2. So here we would say like, I don't know, we call it current divider offset or just divider offset. I guess that is a little cleaner. Um, okay, so now that we understand the concepts, let's go over how we So now we know that where we're at in this process, all we have to do is change this one line that I've highlighted. We need the animation percentage to change from 0 to 1 over some amount of time. So we can look at the compose animation docs, and there's actually a thing for this already somewhere. What was it called? Not animate a state. Um, is it animate float a state? Um, I think it is actually. Um, so let's just copy that real quick. Oh God, what have I done? Let's copy this really quick. And our target value here, we're just going to go to 1. We're always animating to 1. And our tween will be, are you yelling at me? Ah, so the animation percentage has to go outside of the canvas because that's a composable property. Okay, so here's what we're doing. So we're animating flow to state. Our target is 1. It's going to automatically start at 0. Yes, they must do that internally. Um, and then we give it an animation spec, which basically controls how it animates. So you know what? We're going to make this a whole second just to over exaggerate what is happening. And I also think that we can. Yeah, okay. I can even like just delete this and go with the default and just tweak my duration millis. Okay, so the way we're going to test this, if I do a split, so now I think by default this won't render anything because it'll be treated like it's 0. Or maybe it's treated like it's 1. We just don't see the animation. Easing is important. What is the default one? The same one that was in the docs. Fast out, slow in, easing. Um, okay. So, and then we're going to use this handy button right here, which maybe y'all don't see this a lot, which is start interactive mode. And this is how you can test animations. So, here we go. Don't blink. Wait. Okay, blink. What the fuck? Was that not all of it? Was that not? I thought that was all I did. Oh no. Do I need, is that too long? Is it like, hmm. All right, I might have to switch to my other branch real quick and figure out what I did differently on the other one. Um, for the animation stuff. Let's do that real quick. Sorry, I'm not quite sure what I missed. Um, I expected that to work. Could you make a quick on click that resets the animation in interactive mode? I probably could. Um, let me switch branches really quick to figure out what I did wrong or what I did differently. Oh, in the other one, I used the animation state, which is what I think I actually wanted. Okay, let's switch back real quick. Um, I didn't just use this animate flow to state thing, but I used an actual like tracking the animation state. So we have this composable. We have our animation state, which defaults to 0. Then we call animation state.animate2. We give it our target value, and then we give it some duration milli. So here I actually have it set as 1,000. Um, let's figure out why this is. Oh, because it's not called animation percentage. So let me just do that. This is this animation state, so we need to call dot value here, basically. Okay, and now we can see in our preview that yes, this is now empty because it's technically starting at 0. Um, Damn, imagine working on a project that could swap branches and index this quickly. Not my work job, let me tell you. Um, my day was switching between like 7 different branches, and that alone took me a lot of time. Okay, here. We're gonna see it. Don't blink. Oh, it's beautiful. Um, I wonder if I just do this, if it'll reset the interactive mode. I probably could set a click listener. Um, let's actually try that real quick. Let's do something like this. Let's do Could I re-trigger the launched effect though? I don't really know. Um, yeah, I don't know. I guess there's what's the keyboard shortcut here? Like everything. What the hell is that? Yeah, I don't know what that shortcut is. Yeah, I'd have to change the. Yeah, that's what I thought. I would have to change the key or like copy this and like animate again. Like if I really wanted it to be. Oh, and maybe not because launched effect has to be run inside a composable, doesn't it? Yeah, so I'm not even gonna worry about that. Like it could be done, but um, amazing. Oh, will it run every time I save the file? No, only if there's a change. Ah, but it's so good. Um, actually, a whole second is actually still pretty quick. What happens if I make this even slower? Yeah, then it's a little more clear what's happening. That was cool. So yeah, that's the composed canvas of drawing a line on a divider. Play with easing? We could. I don't know what the differences are. Like, I don't know what options we have. Um, anyone have any? We did fast out, slow in. What's linear easing? We could just see what it looks like. Okay. So, yeah, that you could tell that like the speed was consistent all the way through, which I don't love for this actually. It's like, well, maybe I don't love because it's 2 seconds. Let's go back to 1. Okay, it's not bad, but it wasn't as cool. So we did what's ooh fast out linear in. What does that look like? No, no, did not like that. What there's also linear out, slow in, I think. Okay, that one's not as bad. It's oh shoot, I'm not on. It's a prototyping in. That's cool. Um, I was just looking at the ones that are here that are built in, but I'm gonna keep the original for now. Um, or yeah, just keep the default. We'll keep it at a second. Maybe they are on a different file. Um, like, can I just do like ease out? I don't know. It's not autocomplete's not finding anything. No, autocomplete's not finding anything. I'm also surprised there aren't more, but maybe they're part of a different package or something. Um, that's pretty freaking cool. Um, I love it. So, and then we can also like let's let's see what this looks like if we start from the middle. Yeah, so that's what if they were. I don't know if y'all saw that. If they were the same, this is what it looks like starting from the middle. That's really cool. And I like the subtlety of the divider itself animating. Like the way the divider is also growing as they're going out, I feel like is a really subtle, nice touch. Um, let's take this one step further. Let's. The last thing I would do before I were to add this into the app somewhere is I would also need like to know what this stat is. So let's go back to the Brazil, of course. Just makes everything more fun. Um, but let's have this take in a stat name. And what we can do is, ooh, actually, do I want to do this? I don't know that I need to make the name part of the canvas. I don't think I do. Um, I could. Let's just look at it for for fun. Actually, hold on. Before we do, now that we know this is working, let's go ahead and commit this. I'm gonna do my static analysis check first. Okay. When we change supporting, animating, stack comparison. Have you considered adding a delay so when stacked they can animate in staggered? So that's actually something I wanted to talk about. On my other branch, I have this same thing where they're animated, but they actually show up sort of below the fold on the screen, right? So when I scroll, I see the stack comparisons, but I don't see them animate in. And I believe there's some sort of callback or something I can use to know when it's who is this other branch. Um, I did all this already, but then I didn't get to do it live, so today I just started over and did it live. Um, so when I already did this, I did that, but the problem being that when I pull it onto the screen, it doesn't animate. So I want to figure that out. We'll do it together. Um, oh my god, I'm in so much. Okay, let's talk about that. Actually, let's build that. We can build this pretty quick, I think. Um, no, we can't build it super quick because of other complications. We'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We are going to. Do I have it? Okay, let's make a new component here, and let's call it a core stats comparison card. This needs a modifier, of course, and this is going to have blue team stats. And this will have orange team stats, core stats display model. And let's talk about what this is going to do. So this is going to say render a comparison of blue team stats and orange team stats for the various core stats. Um, let's make a preview function. Um, let's do Pocket League theme, surface. We don't need a surface here. We'll just do core stats comparison card, and we'll put in some test display models in a moment. So let's do core stats display model. I don't know, what do we have in here? Now, score, let's do like just putting in random things. Let's copy this, make these like. Oh, actually, we should test a zero, see what that looks like. So I'm just putting in random values for a preview here. Feel free to ignore that. Okay, let's make a core stats comparison card. So, first we need a card. Um, I'll use our modifier. Um, and we should give this a default, by the way. More assist than goals sounds like a mafia game. Yeah, okay. Don't read too far into it. Um, and let's just do a couple things. So let's throw in a column here. I'm gonna do horizontal alignment as center real quick. We're also going to do fill max width here. I think our card should also be fill max width for what it's worth. Um, and okay, so let's just add a couple real quick. We could do some copy and pasting. But let's do like a text. Text will be goals, and then we'll do stat comparison. Uh, blue team value will be blue team stats dot goals. Nope. And then orange team value will be orange team stats dot goals. Let's just copy this. Do assists, saves. Um, this is probably a better way than doing all of these, but let's just see how this looks real quick in the preview. Of course, it's all empty, but beautiful. Okay, so when it's zero, that definitely looks awkward. Um, let's put some padding on our card. Beautiful. Okay, and you know what? The divider looks okay. When it's not up against the card, it looks okay. When the divider was on the card border, that looked awkward. But this looks okay. Amazing. So, what do we do next? Well, we're going to commit this because I like working in chunks today. There's a million typos in here. I need a. What the fuck? Um, I know this is going to be a little tricky because my stuff doesn't have everything I need in it. Um, So what are we going to do next? We're going to go into match detail content. And this is where it gets tricky. So we're going to go to match detail. We're going to copy this header real quick. Um, and we could put this a different way. We could do this a couple different ways, but let's just go with this for now. And then we're going to do core stats comparison card. And this is where it gets tricky. Um, and why we're going to have to do a little bit of refactoring. So here is where I would do match, I don't know, what do I call it? Display model. Dot blue team dot core stats, but they're not there. Um, so let's just pretend they're there for a moment and figure out how to get them there. Um, I'm also gonna need. Oh, yeah, I see that. Let's do this, and I'm gonna go back in here, and I'm not going to. Oh wait, I think this is okay. This is looking right, except for this part. So we're gonna go onto our match team result display model, and we're going to add a um, core stat being core stats display model. On our placeholder object, we're going to do core stats equals core stats display model dot placeholder. Um, and then when we map from match team result, we're going to do core stats equals this dot. Aha. I'm not pulling the stats property from Octane. So let's do a little bit of JSON research right now, shall we? ZSR.octane.gg. Let's just do slash matches. Um, and let's look at, okay, so we get aha. So it's on the team property. There's a team, which has the team, but then also has stats with core inside, and this has what we need. So let's start at the base level. Let's go into Octane GG team stats. Oh look, we already have this. Um, this function doesn't belong here. Um, okay, let's find out where this is used. Octane GG match team result. Aha, and then we do two match team result. So here we'll do stats equals this dot stats or this dot team uh, or default. We'll just leave that in for now. I should probably handle the network errors if stats aren't there, but we're not going to do that for now. Um, so here's where we pull it from the API. We need to go into here and actually store it in our domain. And then, way back in our display model, we can now do stats.core.to display model. Ah, Simon X a little crooked staring at this monitor to the left. Um, Someone told me I should just use the OBS preview, which is on the monitor in front of me, except like there's just ever so slight input lag that doesn't really work for me. But maybe I will do that for a little bit. Um, hey, is that all I need? Okay, let's run the app and let's see what we get. Um, we'll just give the Gradle build a minute. And now our first Gradle build of the day, and it's not complete awkward silence. Okay, well, we messed up the header. Call that match stats. But look at it. Isn't it beautiful? But this is sort of the problem I mentioned is that it's obviously animated when it's created, but I don't see that animation. Um, it really is beautiful. This turned out so well. Um, you know what else I'm going to change this to? This is actually probably even better when this shows up on a card. Um, we're going to go to our. This is giving me PTSD of work when I worked on a sports app. Sorry. Um, we're going to change this to local content color. I don't know that that's going to make the most sense, but I don't know that that's going to make the most sense, but let's see what it looks like. We delayed the animation till it was on screen. Okay. The problem is I have to figure out how to do that in Compose. So I have no idea. Um, I feel like you can't tell that the divider color changed, but it's very subtle. Also, what the hell is this game having four OTs and a best of seven? What the hell was this series? This OT was 9 seconds. This one was over 3 minutes. What a series! I don't like. I don't even. I was so focused on the stats that I wasn't paying attention to this like just absolute thriller of a series that we happened to click on here. Uh, okay, so oh, I'm just staring at it. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Screenshot this real quick. Okay, so does anyone know off the top of your head how I can figure out when something comes on screen with Compose before I Google it? I'm gonna have to Google it. Wait until I don't know. Like, um, I'll then. How do I keep ending up on Bing somehow? I'm literally in a Google search bar. Like I'm on Google. What have I done wrong on my machine that I can type into the Google search bar and I end up on Bing? Like what have I done to my browser? How did I allow this? Like I don't I'm so confused. Can I read the drawing phase? Ooh, can I is there like an on draw callback on the modifier? Oh wait, what's a bring into view responder? Is that relevant? I don't think so, but oh no, not quite. Did I change my default search engine? I don't think so because when I type in the address bar, I get what I want. Oh, complete side tangent. But there's this draw behind modifier that takes on a draw scope, which is exactly what the canvas takes in. So just so you know, like you can technically do canvas work behind any composable. Like if you have like a card and you want to treat it like a canvas and draw on top of the card, you can just use the draw behind modifier to do exactly that. Also something I learned at DreadCon London. Can you use a disposable effect? Maybe. Oh, can I check the animation things? Mm. Okay, here's the easing thing. Oh yeah, you can just make it custom. Um, I could also just start by putting it above, so I don't care if it's on screen or not. But no, I should. This is not a lazy column, and I don't know if that's relevant. I don't think it is, because even if it was a lazy column, this could still be added like before it comes up. Mm, does dark mode reanimate it? Maybe, but probably will happen too fast. Oh, it did. Did you see it? That was really freaking cool. Oh, you can see it because the shade doesn't go all the way down, which is nice. So you can see it behind the stuff there. Um, Someone mentioned a disposable effect here. Hmm. Can I use disposable effect? Like, what does it give me? Like, is there Oh, it's just like on dispose. Uh, hmm. Yeah, I thought disposable was the same as launched effect, but maybe some side things. It's not side effects that I want. Wait, restarting effects is relevant? Wait, where did I see it? Where did that go? It'll be fine if I want to know. There's got to be something. It's not a life cycle event that I'm waiting for, though. It's not like I'm trying to listen to the Android life cycle here. Um, I mean, I could make it collapsible and be like, I could be like view match stats, and so then it will just animate when I decide I want to view match stats. But that feels weird. Like I want it to just be here, and I want it to just maybe I don't need to worry about it. Honestly, like it's or not worry enough to hold up the rest of the stream, which I don't know how much later that's gonna go because it is 9:30. But let's how can it animate on first composition? What do you mean? Because of this launched effect. Like this launched effect has like just unit, so it runs once because this key never changes. Um, um, I could give it a key. Ooh, why is that happening when the view is off screen though? Because the composition is happening when it's off screen. It's still like because it's part of a column, like not a lazy column, but like an actual column. I think everything is just there. I could try doing this in like a lazy column and see if like that changes things. It must do some of this stuff. Um, I don't know. Let's what did I change here? Have I actually changed something? Oh, some imports that don't need to be there. Um, we could try just for fun. Um, just for fun, let's make this a lazy column and let's see if it makes a difference. I'm seeing a modifier option on globally position that people are using. Okay, okay, that could work. I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try using a lazy column really quick. Basically, I'm just gonna have to like replace with all these item calls, and let's see if it works. Um, it'll just be a super quick way to see if that does something different. Hi, Verdsky, how are you? Hope you're having a great night. I know worlds have collided. I'm pretty sure, Sav. I'm pretty sure I found you in Verdsky's chat. I believe. I'm doing great. I'm just trying to sort out a small little animation thing here before I wrap up for the night and go play some Rocket League. Oh, it did. It animated. Did you see it? It did it again because it's in a lazy column. Oh, it's so clean. I need to run this on my physical device so I can record this. Um, please hold. I need to see this on a real device here. I can record an emulator. Um, I don't remember how though. I know it's like a thing, but oh my god. I want to see it. I want to see it, and I want to use this and oh, connected. Are we connected? There's a button on the toolbar. Is it one of these? Oh, it's this one. Um, we're gonna look at it on a real device. Let's see if we can. Are these all Oceana? Yeah. Oh, that's so clean. I'm gonna need a different match that doesn't have a missing thing. Oh, it's so nice. That is so freaking cool. All right, what a stream. I'm so glad we can make that work. Switching to lazy column. All right, so let's push this. Let's get a pull request up, um, and then we'll go raid someone. I will try to also remember that like globally positioned modifier. I could play around with that off stream. Ah, long method. Oh, that's totally fair. Um, 10 lines too long, Jesus. Um, guess what? Not my problem right now. I want to commit this and make the pull request, and I can always clean it up after stream. And then this was a good stream, so you know what? I might record this one and put it up to YouTube because I haven't done that in a while. I'm behind on doing that, but it would be great to get this up there. I think this is one that would interest some folks. So thank y'all for hanging out with me tonight throughout this. Um, um, let's real quick. Um, let me add stack comparison component using compose canvas and add to match detail screen. Manual testing. You know what we could do next time? Um, I think lazy is accomplishing this first render because exactly it doesn't add it to the composition until it needs to. I'm betting that if I scroll really slowly, I'm betting that it gets added to the composition before it's visible. So I suppose if I tried to go super slow and the item is there, that I won't see it animate, which is exactly what is happening. But if I scroll fast enough, I'm still seeing it animate. Like, it's when I fling, I see it. But if I am really slow, it's not there. So that is admittedly, like, not perfect. Ideally, it also does rerun every scroll. That's because it's completely removed and re-added. Um, and honestly, I kind of like that. That like I love the way it looks. Maybe it's not the most efficient of a project, but yes, and that's the whole point of a lazy component. Is it lazily adds and removes things, so it's more efficient. That it's a recycler view. Like that's ultimately it's recycling in a compose world. We just did some manual testing tonight, but you know what I think would be a cool thing for like the next stream? I would love to talk about how we can do some testing around this. Specifically, we could take our custom component and we could even like we could record some of this semantics information about like what percentage blue scored versus orange, and we could test that it renders correctly. Uh, that would be cool. We'll do that another time. Let's see if there's someone out there we could share the raid to. I know my coworker Matt was doing some coding today. Let's see. We could also do some accessibility. Yeah, we could deal with like a talkback for this. Um, Smile question mark? No, absolutely, absolutely. That's something we can do next week. Or in a perfect world, I start doing some daytime streams. I wanted to hypothetically start putting Friday afternoons into the rotation. The problem is it's the holidays and I'm going to be taking like some weekends off and stuff, so there's not that many Fridays left before the end of the year, but I might try to do a couple. Um, so let's just check real quick. Um, nice. Okay, Matt is still streaming, so we're going to go to the other side and we are going to raid an iOS dev. Um, let's go show love to my coworker Matt, who is doing some iOS dev. Let's see what they're working on tonight. Um, they didn't specify. Oh, it looks like they're working on like a Movember related, like men's health related app. So, all right, we're going to head over there. I will see all of you soon. Thank you guys for coming by. I hope the music was nice. I hope this was a nice change of pace. Um, I got used to having it in my ears, and I think it made everything a little more fun. So, all right, we will see you all next time. Bye.